Okay, so Psalms 28, 6 through 7. So, blessed be the Lord, for he has heard the sound of my pleading. The Lord is my strength and my shield. My heart trusts in him, and I am helped. Therefore my heart celebrates, and I give thanks to him with my song. So for me, worship hasn't always been the easiest thing, just because life isn't always easy.
Yeah.
But this verse just says to celebrate with your whole heart, with song. And that just hit me hard because life isn't always easy. You know, struggle is real.
Yeah.
But so is God. God is real. There you go. Thank you.
Start off one more time.
Yeah. All of y'all are Wonder Women.
Now we're
let's
starting
begin.
the podcast.
Welcome
now.
to the podcast.
Welcome.
Welcome.
We've got some Wonder Women up in here.
We do. You know what? I said, Callie, we need some more lady giants, and Callie Neal, you delivered.
You know what? I will say, yeah, I did.
You know what? You know what? Just right here.
Giants. Here we are.
2 thumbs towards self, right there. So we've got Callie Neal co-hosting. We've got Megan O'Neill and Destiny Zavala here on the podcast today. Am I pronouncing your last name correctly?
You did. I'm very surprised.
Yeah, that would have been slightly embarrassing. I
said
correction.
Zavala for like a very long time.
And it happens all the time.
There's no I.
That sounds like a onion. Zavalia onions, is that a thing?
Vidalia
onion.
Oh, that's ballpark. Give credit for ballpark.
I'm glad my last name reminds you of onions.
No, that's not. It was really Callie's mistake that reminded you of it. So I'm glad we corrected that after years of small group leading.
No, we're about to have our 1-year anniversary.
We are.
Oh, 1 year, okay.
Yeah, I was Destiny's teacher first.
Yep.
Right.
Squad up.
Right. First and only forever, right?
Yep.
Well, other than our other Wonder Woman who's not with us today.
Yes. Ashley Jacobs.
Right, because she co-leads, right?
Yep.
True that. And so speaking of small groups and speaking of Seacoast Church, so we are here at Summer Camp 2018 at the White Oak Conference Center near Columbia, South Carolina.
Yeah.
And so we're super excited. We're going to be talking about the summer camp experience, talking about small groups, Seacoast Church, custom, giving all kind of shout outs, thanking them for allowing us to come here and sit down right in the middle of the campus, basically, during free time, and just have a conversation about how small groups and summer camp and Seacoast Church and Jesus Christ have affected us, and dig into Destiny, some of your story and what you'd like to give for others, especially some of those other high schoolers. So as far as your brief introduction, we'd love for you to give a brief introduction, but let's run through a few stats. You're going to be a senior.
I am.
Going to be a senior next year, rising senior at what school?
Somerville High School.
Somerville High School.
Yeah.
Fantastic. And let's see, lake or pool? What's your preference?
Pool all the way.
Pool all the way?
Yep. I'm kind of scared of water. I can't see through, so.
You can't see, you don't do the eyes open underwater?
Lake, no.
You can't see through a lake.
Exactly. You don't know what you're touching down there.
Oh, yeah, that's true. Could be Lockie down there.
It's kind of scary. Yeah.
What if we just, while Conlon's recording this podcast, shout out to Conlon here on the video, what if Lockie just straight poked a head up out of the water?
What?
Should we pause the podcast for it, or what would we do?
We'd be done. I'd be out of here.
We just start running down the road back to Charleston.
Yeah.
Okay. How about y'all? Lake or pool?
Pool.
Pool? As
Definitely
well?
pool.
Really?
I don't like when my toes can touch. If you drop me off in the middle, I'm fine.
So you're saying the deep end you wouldn't do in the pool?
I'm the opposite.
No, I'm sorry. In a lake, as long as my feet don't touch the bottom, I'm fine.
Oh, you are fine. Oh, you don't like the gushiness? Is that what you're going for?
Yep, the
is that a
gushiness
strange
is
word to
not
talk
what I
about?
like.
Gushiness?
Gushiness.
It's not the best, but that's
different.
what the bottom of the lake is. Gushy.
Yeah.
Well, at least this isn't a dog park, because there's definitely places that I've jumped in a lake and it's like a dog park right next to it. That's when gushiness is alarming. Yeah? Is that a good image for you there? Good feeling? Can you just feel it between the toes?
The lady giants
All right.
are not into it.
Yeah, this is the first podcast. It's me and 3 other ladies here, so it's like, y'all got to forgive me if I start getting into like weird imagery. So, okay. Well, then I'm the outcast here because I like the lake. I like the lake. I do like the pool too, but I feel like with the lake, well, there's a caveat. I like it because there's just really cool activities. We got like the blob looking thing, and we got the climbing thing, and we got kayaking. Last year, me and Jack got in trouble. We kayaked a little too far out of bounds, and they didn't
Water
like that.
sports.
Yeah. Trying to keep us within a certain, I mean, there's the whole lake at our disposal. I think we're not utilizing the full capability of our resources here. So we just go exploring. We kind of got the whistle called on us. So I like the lake, but the caveat, the downside is that the climbing thing, have y'all tried it?
No.
You've never tried the climbing?
I did a few years ago.
You did a
but
few years
it's been
ago.
a
See,
while.
you learn because it's really embarrassing when you try to climb on.
Yeah.
It's like more difficult than you would imagine.
Yeah.
And there's nothing more embarrassing than, like, especially me being a guy, and I'm like out there trying to climb on this thing that doesn't look difficult, but it's more difficult than
You're like,
you would think. I swear it is. It's like y'all haven't even tried it, so you don't even know. I swear
no,
it's more
I'm like
difficult
trying
than
to
it
picture
looks.
what's happening, but I'm sure.
Well, go check it out. I got the lake down there. I think it's still there.
To be continued.
We can watch
Right,
it
yeah.
more.
We'll pan right
Yeah.
now. Right now in the video, we'll pan to it. We'll have to get some beef footage, or we'll forget to pan to it, and it'll be just whatever. So yeah, well, that's probably one of my favorite camp activities. Before we get even more into camp, then, so that was a brief thing. As far as your background, then, could you share a little bit more about kind of who you are and where you
Yeah.
are right now in life?
Yeah, so I'm actually from New York. So been
Wow.
South Carolina, raised here, but born in New York.
And how long have you lived in South Carolina?
I want to say 6 years. 6 or 7 years? Yeah, 6 or 7 years. It's the whole thing about you can't take the city out of the girl is true. That's probably why I'm not a lake person. But yeah, born, raised in a Christian home, always going
Right on.
to church. I have 2 siblings. I've always been an older sister. I'm 6 years older than my sister Diori and 13 years older than my brother Jacob.
Oh wow.
Yeah, so age difference is there.
Is that kind of fun, or do you just get stuck with babysitting duties all the time?
I babysit a lot, but I love it. I wouldn't trade it for the world. Yeah.
Right on. Right on. So it sounds like family's key.
Yeah, family's everything. Yeah.
And then, so we all go to Seacoast Church in Charleston. Awesome church.
do.
How long have you been going to Seacoast, and what's kind of your role been in there?
Seacoast, been there since 3rd grade, so a very long time, 6, 7 years. My mom is very involved.
Yeah.
I met my group of sisters in Seacoast. We've known each other since 3rd grade. So my small group now, we've known each other for a very long time. So they're family now, which I'm very grateful for.
Right on.
So that's been awesome.
Yeah. That's super sweet. Yeah. And I grew up here in Charleston, and so I went to Seacoast since I was about that same age.
Okay.
And so it's always surprising. Even me just saying I'm from Charleston is surprising to everyone on the face of the earth. I don't think it has anything to do with the way I look or sound, just it's rare to find someone that grew up in the same place and went to the same church forever.
Yeah.
So that's awesome. So you've been going to Seacoast since 3rd grade,
Yeah.
and then you started, so Custom is what the high school ministry and middle school ministry is
Yes.
called. And we have a lot of fun. And
do.
so you've been on stage now for a little while,
Yeah.
right?
this
So
will
share a
be-
little bit about that, if you would.
Yeah, so I auditioned, you could say, when I was 12, and then that's when I started worshiping on the worship team. But I just started leading. It'll be a year this year.
Wow. Only a year. See, I feel like I've known y'all longer. And so
Yeah.
I know,
it's been a
right?
good year.
And I've been a fangirl for the whole year.
Destiny. Yeah, I love it. It's like, I love how they let us students get to lead in any capacity.
Yeah,
So
that's a
to do
huge thing.
that is just amazing.
Yeah, so how do y'all pick songs? Do you guys get to pick the songs for the weekend services?
Yeah, so normally it's only the adults, the worship pastors that kind of pick what we sing. But just now we've kind of got a little bit of privilege to suggest some stuff. But we always try to base it around the message and what the message is going to talk about. Yeah, and that's a fun process too.
Right on. Yeah, that's super key because the worship element is an extension of the message,
Yeah.
you know, and you will have, and you already have had, a really cool opportunity to add to the message, even if it's just a quick word, you know. Doesn't have to be a whole sermon after the sermon.
Yeah.
It can be, but it doesn't have to be. And so even just a quick word or something that you've been feeling in your own life and just sharing it is a really cool opportunity. So I know at times I'm like, yeah, preach, share something.
Yeah.
I'm all about it. Me from the lower level, the lay people.
And Destiny's up there killing it.
Yeah, killing it. That's great. And so that's kind of your background. Would you say music
Yeah.
is where you want to go,
Yeah.
specifically worship music?
Yeah. So as a kid, music was always my outlet, you can say. So I fell in love with music at a very young age. And then when I got into church and I figured out that you can worship God through music, not just by your everyday living, I was like, oh yeah, if I can do that as a job, yes, write me down on the list right now.
Yeah.
So yeah, that's the degree I'm trying to find is worship ministry.
Right on.
Yeah.
And where's that?
I really want to go to Liberty University.
Okay.
Not sponsored.
Not
by
sponsored at
Liberty,
all.
But it could be.
Give her a scholarship. Give the girl a scholarship, man.
Yeah, what's up? Hey, we'll tag Liberty.
At Liberty University.
You know what? We'll tag them. Yeah, I've got some friends who went to Liberty, and they get some really neat speakers too.
They do,
You
yeah.
know? I've heard really great things about their school. So, do you know anybody that went to Liberty, or how did you come about that thought?
I don't. I watched Duck Dynasty as a kid.
That's where all great ideas
I love
originate
that.
from. Am I right?
Yeah,
There you
and
go.
their children went to Liberty, so I figured out
Okay.
about Liberty that way.
Wow. That's
Yeah.
so cool.
Yeah.
I'm sure they're influencing people, like many other people too, especially
Yeah,
young people,
yeah.
about that in that way. I never really thought about it.
Yeah. Never thought Duck Dynasty would be leading people into their calling. You know?
Also not sponsored, but Duck Dynasty.
But
Maybe
could
you
be.
can send
Our
a scholarship
caveat's
to
always
Destiny.
not, but could be, right?
Not but could be.
Am I right?
At Duck Dynasty.
Very solid. And then, if we could turn to Megan here. So, you've been leading small groups as well, right? So you're a small group leader. Could you also share, because that's kind of what all three of us have in common. We lead small groups. I lead Rising 11th. Callie, you lead Rising Seniors, of course. And then you lead Rising, what grade?
Ninth grade girls.
Ninth. Oh, you're making the leap from the middle school.
Yep, so I've had them since they were rising sixth graders, so
Yeah.
it's been about 3 years.
Wow, that's all. Wow.
The same girls.
Seeing them all through middle school.
It's crazy. They're different kids.
That's phenomenal. And what would specifically you two say would be your favorite part of being a small group leader?
I would say just seeing the girls grow into who God wants them to be, and just being able to find the freedom to express themselves and not feel pressure from other students in their schools and, just neighborhoods, and that they can just worship and, talk about things they're struggling with and feel comfortable and work through so much that so many people hold on to. It's really special.
Yeah.
For sure. We were talking about this morning about just like seeing how girls have just like been like so open and vulnerable and honest and like things they want us to pray for them about, and like then seeing them grow through that and seeing those prayers being answered. And we were talking about what John said last night. Hold on, I don't want to mess it up. You can't heal from what you conceal. Is that what it was?
Yeah.
Yep.
And that's just like
From what you conceal. Right.
yeah, from
Yep.
what you
Yep.
conceal.
That's what he said.
And it's just so cool to see these girls saying like, okay, well, I don't think I'm enough in this area. I try to hide this part of me because I don't know if people will like me if I talk too much or do this or whatever. So it's been really cool seeing like girls growing. Well, I'm sure the guys are too, but our girls in particular.
I'm sure they probably are, right?
Yeah. Conlon, can we get it okay? We got a nod from Conlon. But just seeing them just like be open and honest and vulnerable with their community, with girls who, and I just came in a year ago, but these girls who've been together since they were in the third grade, and just like really loving each other and protecting each other and supporting each other. It's been really cool to see.
Yeah. Yeah, I second all that. And again, for new people listening to the podcast, a big part of what we're trying to do is just feature next generation leaders and achievers, like all three of you, really, and try to capture sort of a generational example of who would be someone that we would aspire to be, and to speak life into that next generation, and to cast away those fears of stepping out and just being bold and whatever it looks like, whether it's we might see it through a ministry lens in a lot of ways, but it could even be just in general other ways, just trying to be the best student you can be, the best young employee you can be, wherever you are. So that's really a part of what we're trying to do. And so that segue into sort of my favorite part of small group leading is just trying to pass along whatever bit of knowledge or wisdom we have, and help others to learn from either mistakes or just lessons, and carry on the little bit of wisdom that we have at our young age. And so I always say, tell young people that there's always somebody that you can influence, or that you should influence, or really that you are influencing.
Yeah.
You being on stage, especially the middle schoolers, and I'm sure even the high schoolers are looking up to you, whether they want to do music or not. So it's a super cool opportunity that we all have, that everyone has, not just people on a podcast here or even at camp, but everyone in general. So that's really a firm conviction that I have, and why we want to feature young people keep doing this thing, because no other podcast from what I've seen is doing what we're doing.
Yeah.
So
and I do want to
giving young people an opportunity.
Sorry for interrupting. I do want
Yep,
to share really
go for it.
quickly. Destiny is actually the reason why I'm a small group leader and like how I got involved. So I guess last September at See You at the Pole, I love to like go out and, because I am a school teacher, I know school law, but
Right.
I'm out there and watching the kids, and I see Destiny and we had talked previously about how she goes to Mount Pleasant campus, and I just emailed her mom and I said, listen, it's so cool to see that she like got herself out of bed. I know it's early, and I know that, not saying that she doesn't have Christian friends at school, but her community is in Mount Pleasant, and they are at Wando, and they were at Wando, that morning. And I was like, it's so cool that Destiny, despite all that, still showed up, still, and just like made herself vulnerable in that moment, and just like went. And their mom said, can we hang out?
Yeah.
And so next thing I know, actually, we like to say, Ashley and I never said yes to being a small group leader, but we went the first day, and they told us we were so well dressed and so wise.
They're very hip.
Yes, and I was like, oh, okay, I'll stick around. You girls can like really make me feel good. But yeah, I would have never. I didn't think that custom or like student ministry was for me, because we're so involved in the young adults ministry. I just didn't think I had enough of my plate available. And then when I went for the first time, I was just so hooked and so in love with these girls and how they love each other that I needed them in my life. So. Destiny
Wow, yeah,
got me there.
I did not know that.
Feelings.
It's feeling all the feels.
I don't want to interrupt this. This is beautiful.
Yeah, I'm just like, give me a minute.
No, there's so much to that too. Whenever you're doing something that you're passionate about, even if you don't realize how passionate you are about it,
Yeah.
but then you start doing it and you're like, I don't know if I have time. But anything that you're passionate about, you basically always have time for it, and it'll then multiply your time. And as Pastor John was saying yesterday, when we overflow and fill others, we get filled up as well.
Yeah.
And so we're always afraid that, we're going to spend too much. But if you're investing,
Right.
maybe use that language as opposed to spending,
Yeah.
then
For
you're going to
sure.
get more return on the back end.
Oh, yeah.
So I think we all agree with that. I mean, Destiny, how have you felt as you've taken on the challenge and the commitment of being on stage and singing and that sort of thing? Do you feel always stressed, or how do you feel about it?
I feel like if there was a booklet on like tips to know before you start like leading in any capacity.
We're going to write it right now. Here we go.
There you go.
I wish I was told that it's okay to feel burned out a little bit. I feel like when you're always pouring out, you always forget to pour back in. And that's something that I still struggle with at times, but remembering that it's God, it's the Father who's my fuel. Almost like gasoline in a car, it makes you run,
Right.
That's what He is for us. So there's a lot of stuff. I still get nervous a lot. Leading your peers is not like
That's one of the toughest things.
yeah.
Because we all have peers. It's not like you get past high school and then you have no more peers to
Yeah.
try to lead and even peer pressure somehow still sticks around for many people, no matter how old they are.
Yeah,
I mean,
so
I'll
true.
even talk to some parents, and there's people that are parent age that have peer pressure to, whether it's to have a certain thing like a new car, or to live a certain way, or go to the parties. There are parent parties apparently.
Of course, or
I just,
like get that golden retriever, or
so yeah, there's that. What other stuff would you have liked to know when you got started?
I guess not pride or anything like that. I've never dealt with, I guess some people could say a big head or anything like that, but knowing why you do what you do.
Yeah, it's
Like
good.
you have a passion for something, but why do I have a passion for this?
really
And
good.
digging in the Word and finding out why you have a passion for this. It's very, very important, not just in worship, but leading anywhere, being a small group leader. Like, why do I love investing in this generation? Like, why
Yeah.
do I love to do what I do?
Yeah,
And that's very important to know. Yeah.
right on. Yeah, I'd say we're still always trying to figure out and deepen our understanding of our why too.
Yeah.
But I couldn't agree with you more. We actually did a podcast, and the title of it a while back was called "Define Your Why," which is a fairly popular saying, I'd say. I don't know,
Yeah.
but it'll be new for some people. Defining why you do anything. And it doesn't even have to necessarily be as big as like your life. Like defining your life, it could be as simple as defining why you get up and go to school in the morning, or go
Yeah.
to work in the morning, or
for sure.
why you're spending this extra time to do online classes to get that extra certification or literally anything. Always having a good, clear and compelling why.
Yeah.
It's the key phrase that I've heard. Clear and compelling why. I like that word, compelling. Yeah, it's strong.
Okay.
So, love that.
So, Des, you're leaving. You have a year left in custom.
I do.
What do you think how do you want to leave custom? How do you want to impact custom?
Yeah.
Either differently in the next year or just like more
That would be the queen of custom. All right.
custom. Listen, we got lots
got a
of
little
queens
jingle to
in
it.
the
We got lots of
rising
queens, senior
12th
class.
grade. Yeah.
Yeah.
They are pumped to be seniors.
Yeah.
But yeah, how do you want to leave custom, or how do you want to influence this
Yeah.
generation better or more intimately
Sure.
Yeah.
the next year?
I loved small groups, especially like not doing life alone. And small groups does a very good job of teaching and putting in your life that you're not alone. You're not going through this alone. You're not going through that alone. So just inputting that small groups does work. It's not just showing up and talking to a group of girls. It works. It works spiritually. Like, it changes you for the better. Because my small group girls are girls that I really believe I will have forever in my life, you know?
Right.
We're all going to different colleges, which is really sad. But we're still going to call each other probably every night, you know, and check up, how are you? So
Good.
just inputting, like, small group does work. Not just right now, but it's going to impact you for the rest of your life. So that's something I really want them to know and understand. Yeah.
Yeah, that's key. Love that. Yeah, Seacoast is so great about having a community to get
Yeah,
plugged
they
in
are.
with.
For sure.
Not doing life alone. Yeah. Fantastic.
Yeah.
How about talking about summer camp? Do we have a favorite camp memory?
Ooh, favorite camp memory. This is my 5th or 4th year at camp, so there's a lot.
I can go ahead and get mine.
Yeah. Let's
Yeah.
hear it.
Well, I'll say that. Well, I'd say it's maybe my favorite. I'd say it's the one that tends to get quoted the most from my students. See,
How long have you been with your kids?
I think this is the 4th year. Yeah, since 7th or 8th grade, one or the other. Did you just say angels?
I know, it's just so sweet. Like thinking about
That's very kind
Proceed.
of you to say. You should come visit. No, they're great. I wouldn't want any others for sure. And I'd say the one that gets talked about the most, and that's really what I'm trying to do. You know, my mission statement is just create stories for them to talk about,
There you go.
many of which involve
awesome.
severe physical pain.
All right, you're teasing it. Let's hear it. What happened?
But no, they almost basically completely destroyed a mattress a couple years ago. Maybe I shouldn't talk about this because it might be a
Wow.
reason that we don't have certain things going on. But so we did a little bit of physical exertion in the sun, in the pavement.
Wrestling?
No, not wrestling. No, I can't touch this. The boys, I can't.
What? Okay.
I don't think I can wrestle them. I don't know. Maybe I should check on that rule if there is a rule.
I don't see any wrestling
I
going
don't
on.
know. Yeah. But no, we did a handful of push-ups, about almost 200 push-ups before we were all said and done. So that's the one that gets talked about the most. I don't know what that says. We had a good time. We had a good time.
There you go.
They're still talking about it.
The push-ups?
Yeah.
Just pushing. Just push up.
As the years grow older, I think also the number's going to keep going up.
We did 5,000 push-ups
did.
in
Back
one
in my
day.
He made us do 10,000 push-ups.
Push-up.
We couldn't feel our arms for weeks.
What'd you do at camp? My arms were noodles.
Oh my god. It's just a bonus. It's just a bonus. You get stronger at camp.
Yeah.
Spiritually, mentally, and physically.
So true.
But it was fun. It's one of those things we look back on it and we laugh. But actually, I'll say another one. Last year, me and Jack, so the reason we went
Jack's
to...
like the star of today.
He really is. He's getting all kind of shout outs. He and I, after we were like doing the kayaking around the lake and getting in trouble, we were like, well, we should just do the kayaking competition. And we straight beasted the entire
Really?
competition.
You weren't
Yeah, we
tired
won
at
first
that point?
place. Yeah, after we
Nice.
went 20 miles around the lake.
It's like going to town.
Yeah, we did. We won first place and got so many points.
Okay, what team were you on last year?
So many points for Team Valor last year. Let's not
Valor?
talk about our
What were you
performance
last year?
last year.
I was Fury last year.
Fury. Where were you last year?
Valor.
Wait, y'all are Valor now too?
But I was at middle school camp with my girls, so it wasn't high school.
Our mantra this year is hashtag not last.
Yeah.
Am I right?
I mean,
Hopefully not. Hopefully not last.
I'd say we're starting out pretty good.
Yeah.
We got to work on our rhythm a little bit.
Yeah.
Wouldn't you say?
Rhythm.
Yeah.
Conlon, you're like shaking your head.
Colin agrees.
Conlon's in our team.
Theater of the minds. For those of you at home, Colin agrees.
Yeah. Any other highlights from camp that come to mind?
This is my first camp. I had a lot of questions about the rooming situation. Like, how many
Yeah.
beds? I don't understand how there's like 9 people, but now I understand.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They make it work.
Yeah, it works. And we're comfortable,
Yep.
and yeah, we are. We're living. Great air conditioning. Thank you at White Oak
Yes.
Conference Center.
Yes.
Great AC.
Oh yeah, AC
Yes.
is pretty on point.
Great AC in the room. But yeah, y'all-
I'd say the gelling too. You know, and maybe you can speak to this since how many years have you been to Camp Destiny?
I've come every year.
Okay.
So 4 or 5.
Holy smokes. So you've been here longer than I have. Were you
the
here?
White Oak Conference Center, OG.
Yeah. Your name should be inscribed somewhere. Maybe
Write
we
me on
can-
the floor right here.
Let's
My
get
own
like a
star.
hammer and a nail and like engrave your name right under White Oak Conference Center. But one of the big things that I like to see, at least as a small group leader, and I feel this with other leaders too, is sort of just gelling and getting to know one another really well.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, it's cool for me to get to know the other leaders from other campuses because we have like a dozen campuses, and then some
Yeah.
other churches come,
I love that.
and I get to gel a little bit with those leaders. But it's cool. It's even more cool for me to see the students gelling and developing relationships.
Yeah.
So that's a fun thing I'd like to see.
Yeah. I love how it's not all the same church.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You don't see people every day that are from your same church, you know?
Right.
Like
Yep.
going to the mall or something, you can see someone that was at camp, you know?
Yeah, that is cool.
That's what I love about it.
And I think it reminds us and our students, like the Big C Church, this is what we're here for. And this is what heaven's going to be like. It's not just Seacoast.
Yeah.
It's not just Northwoods. It's not just Mosaic. It's all of us together. So it's been cool watching people like get to know each other here at
Yeah.
camp. From
Yeah.
different campuses, Seacoast campuses, or different churches.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah. I wish we could talk about more of the shenanigans. I'm always like, I'm not sure if we should even share all the shenanigans. Do girls do shenanigans? Tell me about the girl world of camp.
Girl world of camp. Glitter for
Oh my
house
gosh,
wars.
our shower.
All glitter.
Glitter?
Glitter.
Glitter everywhere.
Hair coloring.
Snacks, candy.
Snacks, candy.
Oh yeah, do y'all have snack
Tell me
tables?
more.
In
Yeah.
boy
What-
rooms, do y'all
do we have
snack
snacks?
tables?
Snack tables.
Yeah.
You think very highly of us.
We have some generous girls, and so everyone just
We all
has their
share our
snacks all
food.
together.
Yeah.
No, someone, not gonna say names, someone said, we're sharing food. Because they're like, all right, here's a snack table. We're gonna fill our snacks.
Oh my
right
gosh,
here."
it sounds so neat. Like
You don't have snack
like a
tables?
cloud just comes up whenever you enter the room, and then it's all pristine.
Oh,
Do you
we
have
have-
like granite countertops going on with like marble floors too?
No, but
We
have,
painted
like,
in everything. You just didn't
We
know.
have spray, like nice room smelling spray.
We do.
Oh, I did bring that. I brought the axe on deck. Bought stock in axe. You know what? That's the same response I got from another girl I shared this with.
Don't worry, I got
friend
my
of mine.
axe for camp. We're ready to go.
Yeah, we got some Febreze just in
No,
case.
yeah. What am I supposed to do? Get
Febreze to go.
Febreze? Is that better?
Yes.
Yeah. Okay. What do
Probably.
the ladies recommend that guys ought to spray themselves with?
Maybe not their
at-
personal
Soap.
bodies. but-
Spray themselves with soap.
Just wash.
Use soap.
wash.
These
Or
little
just
boys
bathe.
Just bathe.
Come on
It's
now,
fine.
protesting
Yeah.
I don't always
showers.
got time for that.
I have a really good like Febreze thing that's laundry scented for my classroom. So
That's
it's,
what I
like,
have.
Not too many smells,
nice.
but it just smells fresh, you know?
Yeah. Do you just go
Yep.
up and spray your students at school?
No.
She should though.
Or maybe you can't.
Those
maybe
always.
Might
Are you
help.
winking at me? You have sunglasses on. I can't
I've got
tell. Look
shades on.
sideways.
Y'all will never know. No, no, but I mean, I do teach freshmen, and it is after PE.
That's
a
what I'm
lot of
saying.
times.
I know you teach freshmen. I know
So-
some of them ain't figuring out the deodorant game yet.
But yeah.
Megan's giving a strong
Yeah.
affirmation on that one.
Yeah.
But like my classroom, it's
They
like
need a nudge.
oh man, we
Yeah.
have a microwave. I just bought a microwave from Goodwill.
There
We
you
have
go.
a fridge. We're living right. Nice couch,
Nice couch. Just
Oh,
comfy.
man.
comfy couch.
Hey, wait, in your classroom?
Yes.
Yeah.
Oh wow.
Listen,
how do
if
you-
I
how do
want
you
these
do
children
that?
to learn, how do I?
I mean, do you like? Is it a reward or is it just somewhere students sit and do
well,
English?
they-
Am I using that term
we do
correctly?
English up
Do
in here.
English.
No, well, they don't quite use like my microwave and stuff. But we do have like at lunchtime they can use that microwave
Yeah.
because
Okay.
our whole
Sure.
school has lunch at the same time.
I know you're
And
taking
so-
advantage of that microwave.
Yeah, I love popcorn.
Oh my
And so but anyways, and so I don't know. I just feel like I want it to be homey. I spend a lot of my time there. I want my kids to feel at home. So we'll do some good sprays.
That's actually really thoughtful. Now that I think about it, I feel like a lot of my
Yeah.
teachers, or at least
Yeah.
one cool teacher, had a microwave.
Seriously, I'm a cool teacher.
Right. Yes. I mean,
is.
you wouldn't be on
You're
this
pretty cool.
podcast if you
Cat's
weren't a
cool
cool
teacher.
teacher.
Destiny's cool teacher.
What's the best part of doing English? Is it the poems?
Doing the haikus.
That's a 4-stanza poem, am I right? No.
But
Well,
theater of the
just-
minds, I'm giving a 3.
Just roll with it. Just roll with it. Something rhymes
No,
in there,
I'm
and
not
it's
letting the people think that I don't know what a haiku is. I think the best part about English is I have a lot more freedom, and of course, like I have to teach like the basic texts that we're supposed to teach in certain, in each grade level, but I have a lot more freedom with it, and so I have a lot of conversations with my kids about like how we're going to be like socially responsible students, like how we talk about things. So when we read To Kill a Mockingbird, like we can like really discuss like race relations and race issues. So that part's really cool, and like seeing their humanity come out in them and their ability to empathize.
that's cool.
So I think as an English teacher, I have a lot more freedom than other classes would, and just like how I teach and what I teach and how I can connect it to their everyday to like make sure they're actually understanding what we're doing. And I cried reading To Kill a Mockingbird in class this year. It was really embarrassing.
In class.
Or like I look up and they all have their phones out, and I'm like, we're done for the day. We gotta go.
Oh, okay.
I'm just
Oh,
crying.
man.
It's so beautiful.
Do you ever do like a phone box or anything? Do teachers do that? Can they do that?
my cell gel? Yeah. You got a cell
Cell jail.
So chill.
Yeah,
Sail.
you got-
If you say it Southern, I hear what you're saying.
Sail jail.
We got a sail jail.
You got a sail jail. In the
Did you make it all pretty and colorful or anything like that?
Yeah.
Or is it just a shoebox?
We put some construction paper on a box.
Okay.
Called it a day.
Well, that's a little
There you
something. When I started leading a group actually at James Allen campus, shout out, Caden Jenkins, shout out, created a like golden literally bedazzled shoebox for our cell phones during small group time.
She's awesome.
She did great. I think it still exists somewhere.
Wow.
Yeah. It
Can I
was
have
pretty
your cell
phenomenal.
gel, please?
It was pretty phenomenal. Yeah. It was great.
Good.
So there's that. And then Megan, remind me where you are as far as maybe professional and stuff like that, and maybe why you do it.
So I am currently working at a hospital as a nurse tech. I'm in nursing school, and so I'll be going into my last year this year. I'm really excited. Get it
big.
done. Yeah, I'm really excited. Yeah, I don't know what you want to know. I mean, when I was a freshman in high school, I kind of decided that's where I was going to go. I just felt like God was pushing me that way.
Right
Medical missions, all that. And actually that country that we both went to on different years at Togo. They do a mission trip through the hospital I'm employed at. The lady who leads the medical trip goes to Seacoast, and so it was just crazy how God did that. And
Wow.
I'm hoping to do one of those trips in the next few years.
That's awesome. I need to do a medical mission trip. Mission trip's just something I kind of have to be careful with going out of the country and stuff like that, and making sure there's medical facilities. I guess everyone ought to be pretty careful about that, but medical mission trip, you kind of already have the medical facilities wherever you're going, right?
That's true.
Yeah.
So it's like,
true.
what do you got to worry about?
You have medical professionals at your beck and call.
So I kind of want to know more about that. I was actually going to ask because I couldn't remember if you had gone on the Togo trip
Yeah, I
or
did.
not this past year or in a previous year, because they highlighted it today, didn't they? They highlighted the Togo trip.
I cried during the video. It's fun.
It was
All the
yo,
feelings.
production team. They've been making some good. Well, they always
Yeah.
make awesome videos.
At Adam.
Yeah, at Adam Harrison.
Another shout out.
Yeah.
At seacoast.org probably is his email right there. There you go.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I'm sure he has a team too, putting together those videos that
Yeah.
really capture the awesome stuff that you guys are doing. So yeah, could you give a summary too then for the listeners of that?
Yeah.
Because going on a mission trip, going to Togo, planting, the facilities that y'all are doing, I think it's
Yeah.
awesome. So would you
Yeah.
mind sharing?
So specifically for this trip, it was all girls, 5 girls, Adam, and 2 other girl leaders.
I did notice that. Everyone
yeah.
had skirts up on stage, and then there was Adam.
Adam
In his
Adam
pants.
has 2 girls of his own, so it was kind of practice for him a little bit when they get our age. But for this trip, we had the privilege to partner with Francis and Benedict, the non-organization, to pick out like skirts for the seamstresses to make, and then we just saw those skirts, which was pretty cool. And then we had the mission portion. We went out into villages and did evangelism, which was really, really cool. But my favorite part was going into the schools and seeing how they do their education.
Yeah.
Which is just a chalkboard. You know, we have privileges of having a smart board that we complain about too in school.
Oh my God. Yeah, there's something about the smart board actually that makes me a little bit uncomfortable.
Yeah.
That's smart.
Is that the right word?
I
don't know if that's the right word or
I don't know
not.
where we're going with
I mean,
this.
how dumb do you look whenever you're like, just erase? It's like back in the day, it'd be like, wipe.
Yeah.
Then you got the chalk in your hand, you just wipe it on your whatever.
Yeah.
Well, as a guy, I would. Wipe it on your jeans.
That's
Girls
me,
are
I'm
like, I need to wash my hands.
No, none of my clothes.
Right.
Yeah, but we taught English and computers, and it was their first time ever seeing a laptop. And we let them just write their name on Microsoft Word and just seeing their eyes just light up with how much they loved learning was awesome. We met some amazing people, which you met too, the pioneers there. I've been on 2 other mission trips before, and I don't have favorites, but this was my favorite one.
You don't, but you do.
I don't, but I do.
Right.
I did not want to come back to the United States.
I don't know. I'll be sure that your other mission trip people in the other countries never hear this.
Yeah.
I'll do my best.
Yeah.
We'll block it in whatever country.
Whatever it takes.
Yeah. That's awesome.
Yeah. I know Megan's trip was, y'all did some stuff, amazing stuff too. Yeah, you
We
donated
did,
wells.
last year we did the English and computer training and evangelism, and the year before was the summer after the Togo project that Custom did. And so they paid for the wells to be dug in certain villages, and we got to go over and dedicate them and just have a huge ceremony. And it was just like a huge party where, you know, they were in disbelief that clean water would actually come out of those wells. And when it
Wow.
did, just seeing them drink it for the first time was life-changing.
Can you imagine that? Because we don't know what it's like to not have a faucet with clean water that we trust. Can you imagine
Yeah.
never having that sort of context that it's even possible?
And these are grown-ups. And they were kind of like on edge to believe us until it actually
it's like
started
it's like a
coming.
modern miracle that we just live
Yeah.
in, but other countries have never even seen it.
Yeah. And we fill up water like balloons and play water fights with
I know.
Yeah,
smash
right.
them.
You know?
And then one of the on the ladies group me text, someone said, "Is the water in the sink in the bathroom like find a drink?"
Drinkable water,
And
sure.
it's just like so funny, and nothing against her because I was thinking the same. You know,
Right.
Yeah,
do I
yeah.
drink this right? But yeah, and then here we are looking at Togo, and they're like now having like clean water to drink.
Yeah.
So it's so cool to see.
Yeah, that's phenomenal. Yeah, another awesome student here, Scottie Parker, who was on our podcast a while back. He raises a lot of water for Water Mission.
That's awesome.
He's raised,
That's awesome.
geez, I don't know how much he's raised in total. Over $600,000.
That's insane.
He might be 14 years old now, but
awesome.
yeah, I saw him. I didn't even know he was coming to this camp because he's not a part of Seacoast, but he's part of Northwood.
Is he here right now?
Yeah.
I would love to meet him. I listen
Yeah.
to his podcast, and he's just biking around. That one?
Yeah, bikes cross country. No big deal.
Yeah, casual.
It's
14
nothing.
years old.
Wow, I'm sitting on my couch eating potato
Crazy.
chips while
Yes.
a 14-year-old is
No, you're
bike.
studying worship music with the potato chips in mind.
Yeah,
That's-
definitely.
Yeah, that's a good lyric. Yep.
Destiny, can we talk a little bit about your the nonprofit that you kind of started from after
Yes.
seeing
That's right.
Francis Benedict and that impact it's had?
Yeah, so it's called Modern Day Esthers. I started it with a very good friend of mine, Livy, to raise funds to be able to go to Togo. And thank you God that worked. So we got to go and we got to meet amazing people. And while we were there, going back to education, I was just talking to a lot of girls, and it's not a common thing for girls to be able to get an education in Togo. 55% of Togolese women from ages 10 to 25 can't read or write. And that was shocking to me because as going into senior in high school, yes, I love school, but there's times where I complain. And it just changed my perspective of I get to go to school, I get to have education, I get to go get a degree in whatever I want a degree and get a job wherever I can get a job, and they don't get to do that. So my vision is to be able to help them in any way, to rally women here in the States to form a community to use our resources to give back to our sisters back in Africa who don't get the education we have the privilege of getting. So that's something that is just starting. And
great.
we are praying hard for.
And you're selling what?
Yeah, so we sell headbands made out of African wax print fabric and tote bags, and
They're so
all the
beautiful.
profits are gonna go.
Love me some
I
tote
love
bags.
that.
Wait. Tote bags. What are those?
They're
So not a duffel. I think you're thinking about a duffel maybe.
yeah,
I'm sure I love it regardless.
yeah.
But what is it?
It's like
give the viewers just like,
Yes.
oh, I can see it.
Theater.
So, have you seen women bring like to the beach like a bag? They have their towel in,
Right.
all that.
Yep.
It's a pretty big bag, and then it's on like 2 leather straps, like normal
Okay.
bags. But it's made out of beautiful African wax fabric.
Gotcha. Would that be weird if I said I carry those around all the time?
Tote bags?
No.
Yeah.
Nah.
Okay. I
not
don't.
weird.
I was just curious if it'd be weird.
I think, but I think also your personality, you own whatever you do, you know? I don't
Yeah.
think it'd be that weird.
For sure. For sure. Do you have any in pink?
Pink, I do actually.
For sure. That would be me.
Yeah.
I love how you said, I don't have to, I get to. And that's
Yep.
just like such a awesome perspective shift with a lot of things.
Yep.
I don't have to work out in the morning, but I get to
Right.
work out in the morning.
Yeah.
I got to wake up this morning.
You got,
Yeah.
exactly. And just that perspective shift is so cool, and seeing, it's like a lot of like maturity and growth and recognizing that you get to do these things. You don't have to.
Yeah. Yeah, it's so funny how the slightest shift in the word you use or the way you think can create such profound changes in the way you operate, in the way the rest of your life thinks,
Yeah.
in the way you treat people. If you say, if you have a difficult person at school, I'll be honest, I mean, I'm 27, sometimes it's hard for students to see their small group leaders as non-small group leaders, but like when I was in middle school, I remember there were kids, I used to literally wish they would just go away. That's a nice way to put it. I mean, literally, that'd be my prayer. Wish they would just go away, right? It's like instead of saying like I have to deal with these difficult people, you could say, well, I get to deal with these
Yeah.
difficult people, or these people that don't
Definitely.
have the same beliefs. They're challenging. I mean, they're challenging because they have issues, and you get to have the opportunity to possibly help those issues in one way or another. Could even be as simple as being a kind person to them. You don't necessarily have to be like their counselor or their therapist.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Just be a
Get to
nice
show
person.
Jesus to them.
Yeah.
Amen.
We're done with the podcast.
That's it. Yeah, just drop it on Jesus right there. That's phenomenal. Well, I do want to touch on some of the camp stuff, and we have a few questions, and especially here at camp, there's so many just life-giving messages, sermons, things to get shared, and you all brought Bibles and stuff. Whether you read from your Bible or just your notebook is completely up to you. I just want to give an opportunity though to share, and actually I'll maybe kick it off. I don't know. I want to kick off a question of, is there a passage or a book or a story that has impacted you guys that you wanted to share?
I have a verse.
Yeah, go for
Okay.
the verse.
So,
I was going to kick it off, but I kind of got to turn to what I wanted to kind of share. So if you got it handy,
You can kick it off.
you got the inertia. Go for it.
Okay.
Lead the way.
Okay, so Psalms 28, 6 through 7. So, blessed be the Lord, for he has heard the sound of my pleading. The Lord is my strength and my shield. My heart trusts in him, and I am helped. Therefore my heart celebrates, and I give thanks to him with my song. So for me, worship hasn't always been the easiest thing, just because life isn't always easy.
Yeah.
But this verse just says to celebrate with your whole heart, with song. And that just hit me hard because life isn't always easy. The struggle is
Yeah.
real.
Yeah.
But so is God. God is real.
That's good.
So, yeah,
That's really
that's
good.
my verse.
I love it. Yeah, I love that it has that worship feel to it too. Because you were sharing with me too, you're very good at volleyball, and you were possibly going to pursue volleyball in
Yeah.
college at the very least.
Yeah.
And maybe you still could. I mean, you're going to be a senior next year.
Yeah.
But you were sharing that you kind of had maybe a little bit of, I don't know if I'd call it a change of heart,
Yeah.
but a slight deviation in your direction a little bit.
Yeah. So I
in
had
terms of
played.
worship.
Yeah, I played volleyball for 8 years, half my life. And anyone who's an athlete knows it's not just 2 days in the gym for 2 hours. It's 5 days a week for 3 hours straight. And my goal in life since I was a kid was to play D1 volleyball. And then I came back from a mission trip last year, and I just felt my heart just shifted more, because without realizing it, I put volleyball on a pedestal. And putting it on a pedestal, God went down in my life. I put volleyball up and him further down, which can't happen, especially if I had such a heart to worship God. I couldn't worship an earthly thing and worship a heavenly Father. It just wouldn't work out that way. So I know now, even though it was really hard, it wasn't an easy decision. Even my coach was like, you realize what you're doing? Like, junior year is the year scouts are looking at you. It's in a very important year. So it was really hard, and I went through a really bad state of depression and everything. But I leaned on worship, and that's probably why I love it so much, because through that year, I was leaning on it the whole time. yeah, so it was very, very difficult, but all worth it. I feel like God has, in that year, just trained me to do what almost I believe is what I was called to do, because I can't see myself doing anything else.
Yeah.
So I always say I was in training for a year.
Right on.
Yeah.
I like it. Yeah. And I like to think too, especially being here at summer camp, we're all excited, and summer camp really just started. We have 2 to 3 more days.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh, I could, if only there was like a job. If only this went year-round,
Yeah,
a different
right?
camp like year-round. If it went to maybe the southern hemisphere during our winter, so
Yeah.
it's just summer everywhere.
Yeah.
I mean, wouldn't that be the best life?
That would be,
Oh my gosh. Maybe that exists somewhere. I don't know.
Maybe.
But I do kind of like my job as an engineer too, so I'm going to try to keep my day job for at least a month. That's phenomenal, yeah. That's big stuff, you know, especially at the age of 17, 18, starting to make decisions that will have a trajectory impact on your life is good, but
And I like how you pointed out that it wasn't volleyball's fault. It was like
Yeah.
how you had treated it. And so like volleyball's not the ultimate problem here. It was just how you
How I put it above.
right. So I
Yeah.
think that's cool for you to know yourself and know how you had done that.
yeah, that's great. What's another thing you ladies wanted to share? Do you have anything prep?
I have a verse I just love.
Go for it.
Isaiah 43, 1 through 2. But now says the Lord, He who created you, O Jacob, He who formed you, O Israel. Fear not, I have redeemed you. I have called you by name, and you are mine. When you pass through the waters, I will be with you, and through the rivers they shall not overwhelm you. When you walk through fire, you shall not be burned, and the flame shall not consume you, for I am the Lord your God.
So good.
I just love that.
It's been redeemed. I like that.
Because, no one can avoid what life throws at you, and it's just how you handle it and whether you choose to rely on God or not. And I just feel like that verse is just something to cling to in those times.
Wow.
Well, I don't know. I'm sure y'all have taken your Enneagram test. Have you?
Yes, I
I have not.
I'm a 1.
So this is messages from me and Megan. Have you taken it, Kyle?
I have not, so I don't know even what a
You
1
need
means.
to.
How many numbers are there?
There's
20-something?
9. Nope, there's 9.
Oh, okay.
So
That was
well,
not
stay
close at all.
tuned, everyone, on Kyle's number. But so Megan and
To
I
be
are,
released soon.
like countdown.
Yeah, right.
Kyle's number.
Yes.
But we, as a 1, I want things done right, on time, my way, or the highway. But so my
I
verse.
might be a 1. I'm not sure. I gotta see the other
Yeah,
options.
you
Keep
could
going.
be a 1, but okay. But anyways, she could probably tell you what number you are.
Right, yeah.
It's like a new
Been
game.
around me enough.
Okay, but I am looking from Romans 12, 2. Do not be conformed to this world, but be transformed by the renewal of your mind, and not by the testing. You may discern what is the will of God, what is good, acceptable, and perfect. And I've written in my Bible, and I don't think I came up with these words. But Cal told me if you say it a couple times, then you can own it. So I said one time, transformation doesn't come by trying, but by dying. And so I am such an achiever and like wanting to do things right and well. And I just have to remember that I cannot be that person. I wasn't meant to. We were not put on earth to achieve and be above God and do things that God does for us. So just remembering that I cannot be transformed if it's always about me, and I have to die to self. So,
That's
Wow.
good.
Yeah, that's so good.
number 1.
Yeah, there's a
in
huge
the house.
distinction there because we, especially on this podcast, love hearing about people's achievements and just pursuing, getting after just things that almost seem impossible, you know? Because we live in a world that was once thought impossible. All these things that we get to experience was once thought impossible. We get to live in it because people press the boundaries on what was possible. So I love that. But there's that huge distinction, and the achievement isn't the end of the story. It's what can be accomplished through your achievements and through what you're doing and the high marks that you do get to hit. And you get that should really fuel why you're trying to do whatever it is, whether it's be at the top of your class or top in your field or whatever happens to be. So I'm a big fan of Romans 12. Huge fan. The only thing I was going to share, so I mean, I can literally share anything. I love that y'all shared the Bible. I'm going to share something that was written by who I believe was a Christian writer, but it's just generally a good book to get some inspiration and development from, because we're all about trying to feed and give some development to those younger listeners and have something that's enriching and life-giving. And so I thought this passage was really good. I'm just going to read it. It has to do with a premise, a point. It's actually a very good point. huge point that deals with something that everyone has on some level, which is fear. And the point in this passage that I want to read from, the premise is, how do you cure fear? Everyone wants to know, how do you cure fear? Yeah. And the way that you cure fear, as this passage is going to talk about, is action cures fear. So if you're afraid of something, the only way to get rid of the fear is action. And so I thought this was really good. And it made me think of you because, you're 17 or 17 years.
17 August 1st.
And you started singing on stage when you were 16? Is that probably?
13.
Oh, 13. Okay.
Yeah.
Even better. Right? And you even shared that, you still get nervous on stage, and all of us get nervous in some way whenever we're doing things that, are not the norm. And singing on stage is not the norm. So I think this reminded me of you, and just want to read it as encouragement, both for you and just for people out there. So I'll just start, I don't know. I'll just start right here. But let's make no mistakes about this point either. Ideas in themselves are not enough. That idea for getting more business, for simplifying work procedures, is of value only when it is acted upon. Every day, thousands of people bury good ideas because they are afraid to act on them. And afterwards, the ghosts of those ideas come back to haunt them. Put these two thoughts deep in your mind. First, give your ideas value by acting on them. Regardless of how good the idea, unless you do something about it, you gain nothing. Second, act on your ideas and gain mind tranquility. Someone once said that the saddest words of tongue or pen are these: "It might have been." Every day you hear someone saying something like, "Had I gone into business 7 years ago, I'd sure be sitting pretty now." Or I had a hunch it would work out like that. I wish I had done something about it. A good idea, if not acted upon, produces terrible psychological pain. But a good idea acted upon brings enormous mental satisfaction. Got a good idea? Then do something about it. Use action to cure fear and gain confidence. Here's something to remember. Action feeds and strengthens confidence. Inaction, in all forms, feeds fear. To fight fear, act. To increase fear, wait, put off, postpone. And I'll stop there.
That's good.
So I thought that was really strong. It's from a book called The Magic of Thinking Big from Dr. David J. Schwartz, which I'm almost done with the book. It's kind of funny. Our motto on this podcast is think bigger, trying to get young people to think bigger and see examples of people that are their age, whether they're 17, 13, in our 20s, and use that example that, maybe that thing is possible. And so it's kind of funny. This is a book that really could almost be like our book, The Magic of Thinking Bigger, but I actually discovered it, 6 months ago. So it's kind of funny that way. It's a really good book. So I want to encourage you with that. Yeah, just keep acting. Keep diving in. I don't know what's going to be next. As far as, have you gotten to sing on the main stage yet at church?
I did. We get to do student takeover, where Custom gets to lead adults in worship, and then Pastor John always brings a great message. So I have, and that's always awesome. Yeah.
However, but on August 11th and 12th, tell us.
Curtain unveils.
I get the amazing privilege to do some background vocals for some pretty amazing people who get to lead in big church, which I'm very excited about. Because they have so much wisdom that I just want to soak it in. Yeah.
Go girl.
Just get yourself around those people.
Yeah.
Whoa, that's so cool.
And I'll say, and I don't want to speak for you, but it sounds like they've been very available to you and just have really been giving a lot of their thoughts, helping you grow too.
Yeah. Definitely. Yeah.
That's such a great opportunity. I'm so excited for you.
Me too.
Is that the weekend or the date so you're getting the recording, putting that down? You said August 14th or something.
Oh, Callie? No, it's just the
it's for services. The Saturday and Sunday.
Sunday services.
Yeah.
Gotcha.
Mm-hmm.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
You never know where things will lead,
Nope.
If nothing else, there really is no failure, so it's kind of a message I like to always give. There really is no failure no matter what happens. Just being up on there and having that experience and getting to look back on it, because you either will learn from it because you found out something you could have done better, or it's just going to be awesome and it's going to build your confidence because it's just going to be like, oh, that went even better than I could have ever imagined. So both of those are good options.
Thank you.
Well, then we'll kind of start because we're kind of running out of time on this podcast, unfortunately. I'd love to keep chatting. We'll kind of just go through with final thoughts and final thanks if y'all want. And I'll go ahead and kick it off if you don't mind. Callie, is that okay? Or should we do ladies first? Is that okay?
Yeah, it's cool with me.
Do you want to?
Pretty cool with
Okay.
me.
Megan, is that?
It's cool.
Kick it off. Sweet.
Go ahead.
I'll kick it on. You know, can't thank the custom staff enough.
Yeah.
Oh, you stole mine.
Yeah, right. That's why I like to go
That's all
first.
ours.
Jesus.
You already said I could go first.
right.
You have
You
nothing
win.
to thank. And have to thank Callie for co-hosting here on the show. You know, you've been a part of our team for a little while now, and raising through the ranks here. Hospitality team, helping take care of our guests, make sure they're comfortable, co-hosting, spitting that wisdom and that knowledge, taking ownership.
Trying, man.
So gotta thank you so much, and of course thank y'all for coming on, and thank Conlon for doing the video. And you know, we're here, we have free time right now. We could literally be doing anything here at summer camp. So really just so much appreciate you guys, you ladies coming on and just sharing, and of course thank Seacoast Church, and gosh, you know, just everyone involved. Destiny, thank your mom, Jahira, for being willing and you know, happy to support us and have you come on. So you know, and she's also a small group leader at Seacoast, so she's doing awesome stuff. You know, just continuing to pour into others is what we're about. So that'll be my final thanks. And as far as just my final thoughts, you know, just want to be. I'll continue to be at Seacoast. You know, my boys were like, "Hey, are you gonna ditch us?" I don't know. I was like, where does this come from at midnight? Yeah, where does this come from? It's like midnight on day one, and I don't plan on going anywhere. So, you know, whatever I can do to support you and your singing aspirations or whatever else, you know, I'm around here, and that's why I'm involved, is to try to help see young people continue to see their dreams come true and continue to get better and pour into others. So that'll be my final thoughts on that front as well. Callie, you want to go?
Sure, I'll go. Yeah, I'm just like super thankful for just this camp and just like getting to see our kids grow together, our students grow together. And again, I'll go back to, we have so many different Seacoast campuses here and churches here. And it just reminds me, it's so special, it just reminds me of the Big C Church. You know, we are the body of Christ, and getting to see so many people. Like right now I'm watching a football game, I think, happening, and some people hanging out over here, and it's just really cool to see this community without cell phones. Kids have cell phones.
No cell phones, it's possible.
Yeah, and
some people are going to see this video too and be like, do churches even do this kind of stuff?
Yeah.
You know?
I know, right? And so it's just been really cool. My first camp experience so far, A+. I'm here for it at the White Oak Conference Center.
Megan, you want to go?
Sure. Yeah, just to thank y'all for having us on here and just letting us share a little bit about why we love custom, and just being a part of small groups and leading small groups. And obviously a huge thank you to custom staff and all the volunteers that make this camp just such an incredible experience for each student individually. And as you can tell, I've lost my voice.
Oh yeah, well that probably says you're a better.
So we have
you're
fun.
a better singer than me, because I still sing my yeah. You lose your voice doing all the 2-a-day
all the
worship
games
sessions.
and the house wars.
And house wars,
Right.
screaming,
Can we talk about the throat, like voice spray they have?
In the leader room.
Oh.
So shout out to the
Throat
leader
spray.
room.
Shout
They
out
made
to the leader
us.
room. What's up?
There's
Protein
huge
shakes
shout out.
going on. Throat
Yes.
sprays.
Yes.
You
Energy
can color on the
drinks.
tables when your mind turns to mush.
Yes.
True story.
Yes. So
And
yeah, just
unlimited Cheetos.
all the thank yous.
Yeah, so fun.
I definitely want to thank my small group, especially. I wouldn't be the person I am today without them. And thank you for doing this podcast, like giving students, not just my age, younger, older, like the platform to be able to say, like we are, no matter what your age is, you can do something.
Yeah.
I feel like sometimes teenagers, we get put in a bubble of, oh yeah, they're teenagers, they're just on their phone or on social media, but we're not. You know, we can actually do something. We are a vessel of God. So thank you for this, very, very much. Thank you.
For sure.
Lady Giant.
We got the Lady Giants in here.
Yes.
And where can people online find you if you want to be found? Any social media you want to plug?
Yeah. My social media is Destiny Zavala on Instagram. That's the best
The
way to
one and
reach
only.
me. The one and only. There's an app where you can look up if anyone else has your name. I did do that, and I'm the only one.
The only
Oh,
one.
like in the world?
Yeah. Well, in the United
are
States.
custom.
In the United States, I think.
True. I'm pretty sure there's many, many Kyle Taylors. common names. I have to tell everybody I have 3 first names. It's really challenging. People don't know when there's a comma and my last name's put first and my middle name's put third. They don't know what is what. And it just creates all kind of confusion.
Keep them on their toes.
Yeah, I guess. Yeah.
Keep them guessing. Kyle Taylor.
Yeah. We didn't even get to talk about Batman Lego Batman, speaking of alter egos. That was another fun thing we got to do today.
Yep.
Maybe we'll talk more about it on the next podcast. So perfect. Well, thank you, Destiny. Thank you, Megan, Callie, for coming on the spot. It was a lot of fun.
Yeah.
Perfect.
So fun.
That's it.
Cut.
Awesome.
You are great, more than I can sing. You are able, nothing can contain. Your power changes everything.